Welcome back everyone to the LEC and Fnatic. I'm going to be facing off against XL next. I'm Frankie, I'm joined by Vedi and Rekkles. And yesterday was such a good look for Fnatic. They polished off Astralis in 25 minutes and 49 seconds, Vedi. So it was definitely straight out the gate a determination from Fnatic to prove that they have a whole new look and it looks good on them.
Yeah, initially, a lot of positives to talk about when you kind of look across the board. I was super impressed with their mid-jungle in particular. I love the way in which Razork was just working well with Humanoid. As something we've kind of failed to see consistently from them throughout the year. The way in which they utilized their pressure that they were able to gain in both bot and mid was a sight to see. And also just, I think having a great meta read right off the bat. You know, this LeBlanc proved to be extremely successful for them and their coordination was already looking good.
Yeah, and I also think their bot lane performed really well, and their team seemed to believe that they were going to perform really well right out the gate too, because normally when you see bot lanes come in like this, there's a lot of nerfs in play, maybe play a little bit more safe than normally, but level 1, trading heavily. Level 4, Razork is there playing with them, so it just felt like they had this idea that this bot lane is going to be a power bot lane and executed on it from day one.
Do you think that Humanoid can maintain consistency? Because we've literally just seen the one best of one from them. And Humanoid was on fire, obviously building the static shiv on the LeBlanc we've just seen Perk smurfing with. But in the past, obviously, we've not necessarily seen that performance from game to game.
I think it goes a long way for Marek to have fun with the game. And I feel like when you're playing static shiv LeBlanc, you probably have a lot of fun with the game.
Probably.
It just seems like he's kind of enabled when he can play around in game. And I feel like with something like LeBlanc, that's exactly what he can do. He can be anywhere, everywhere, do kind of whatever he wants. And I think it goes a long way for him to just play his champs and do his thing instead of being locked into some sort of role within the team.
No, it totally makes sense. We know that Humanoid is the type of player that he's kind of well known for popping off in playoffs. That's usually the way you see him level up. And I think even when we look back to last split, when he was at his strongest is when we saw some of those better performances in the best of threes. The question does come down to that consistency, because motivation has been a problem for him during a regular season in the past. If he gets to keep having these high agency champions like LeBlanc, perhaps he can maintain that performance. But again, only one game, still a lot to be determined for Fnatic.
And we've only seen one game from XL as well, and it was a scrappy game that we saw against Koi yesterday. It was scrappy on Koi's part as well. XL seemed to get fed at times, but that was really the only opportunity they had to take any kind of victory, and they couldn't close it.
Yeah, basically all eyes were on Peach. The most significant change that they did make was in the jungle. So expectations are, if you're going to be benching out Xerxes, we expect to be seeing something different. And I just don't think that we saw it. We saw repeated full clears. You can see the team proximity at 14 is one of the lowest in the league. He just spent so much time focusing on himself, and his CSD numbers look good, but he just wasn't getting anything done in the early game, especially with the composition. We were talking about it yesterday, Rekkles, that like kind of needed to be there to fight and actually get involved on the map.
I think especially when you're playing a composition that kind of needs to get ahead, full clearing on repeat doesn't really do it for me. And to clarify this 35.7 number, 45 is the average. So it's way below average. And again, you're playing a comp that is against Saya, Yuumi. You don't have any enchanter of your own. You need to make something happen. I think the game idea there, or just Peach on his own, yeah, something has to change today.
Maybe it's a case of communications, though. He's only just joined the team. I'm guessing English isn't his first language either. So we have got a situation where this team needs to build their synergy. They need to build their
But
protocols.
the clock is ticking.
And the
They
clock
have
is
8
ticking.
games to go, and they need to kind of win the split. XL, Heretics, and Fnatic are all in the same boat. Winning the split is pretty much a must here, unless you get some results with you. So yeah, 8 games to go, no time.
Yeah, as Rekkles is saying, stakes, stakes, stakes for this game, right? I know it's very early on in the season, but given how short it is, as you rightly said, 8 games is a lot of pressure. Rekkles himself has found himself in that position where you don't have a lot of time. You've got to find that synergy quickly. And unfortunately for Peach, he's not really being set up for success. The expectations on his shoulders are, you need to be a curveball. You need to bring something different that can help XL stand a chance as we get closer and closer to the best of threes.
Well, as you all know, Peach isn't the only new kid on the LEC block in this next game, because Fnatic's bot laner Noah is the new other kid on the block. And I feel like we should get hyped.
The peaceful LEC. For years, the bot lane was ruled by legends. Now some say legends never die. Noah said, no. Replacing Rekkles, he had huge shoes to fill. It's a good thing he wears a size 45. In funny solo queue, he's been killing bot lanes 2 by 2. He laughs at his foes as they drown in a flood of their own tears. Noah's Ark has set to sea, and Fnatic fans are all aboard and at full mast. He has 0 deaths in the LEC and in real life. Also, he loves tweeting about squirrels, and his father is very proud of him. He's got support in-game and in real life. Noah, he's come to break the peaceful LEC. Breaking the peaceful LEC Part 2, a Noah story, world premiere.
I am hyped. Thank you, Ender. I think you said it best. Noah has come to kill the LEC bot laners 2 by 2. I will say to anybody that uses Twitter, I highly recommend you follow Noah. He has a fantastic sense of humor. He is a gigantic troll. 0 deaths in the LEC. Can he do it again today? I think fans, especially Fnatic fans, are expecting Fnatic to smash today.
He's under the spotlight, isn't he? He's looking like one of the best ADs we could have in this league.
After one game.
Yeah, after one game. Everyone's just super hyped on this bot lane in general. I want to highlight Noah. I want to highlight Trymbi as well. His thresh yesterday, some of those hooks he was landing was outstanding. And I think the biggest question for Fnatic was their top side. You know, I think in winter and spring, their top side always fell short. Razork always had these questionable engages. But so far, looks like their top sides found their game.
Well, let's find out what their top side does today as Fnatic are about to take on XL. Of course, the bot laner for Fnatic is so incredibly prepared and ready to play in this meta. Out of his 160 games that he has played at professional, semi-professional level, over 50 of them are on Aphelios and Zeri. So those are 2 other champions that we know him for. I'm anticipating at least one of them to be banned away. Draven straight out the gate, deny that from Patrik, and the Vi denied from Razork.
Poppy ban as well coming out on the 1-2-3 from blue side. Normally blue side is the target ban. Everyone wonders why blue side is like one of the strongest sides you can get in the last few years. And with so many OPs, you can always pick your favorite OP from the litter, and you can always target ban as well, whereas red side has to cover off things which are just absolutely broken. You know, Vi, LeBlanc, Milio and Yuumi still open right now, so they could trade off bans, and then you could look at a K'Sante first pick for Fnatic. You know, oftentimes when you ban something, you're forcing someone's hand. If they ban Milio here, you're kind of forcing a Yuumi ban in a situation like that, and then you can take things like the K'Sante.
Well, listen, that crazy ban Yuumi guy is enlisted support. I think there was 10 people cheering and chanting a second ago. Will they be satiated or not? No. Eco removed from the pool, so you assume they're going to be traded.
Exactly.
Which one is high priority then for Fnatic?
I think Milio is just the stronger version. So now that they haven't banned either of the spots, XL are saying, well, if we ban nothing here, we can choose off. But they actually don't want to deal with the Milio. It is the stronger version. So now Fnatic could look for Yuumi, they could look for K'Sante, and this is the whole idea behind it. If they were to match support bans there, they would lose out on an OP. And now we'll see what XL picks up.
So listen, do they pair it with the Zeri and buck the trend, pick up the first Zeri Yuumi win here of summer?
They could go Zeri. The thing is, Yuumi can open up so many options for AD. You can go Zeri, you can go Aphelios, you can even go things like the Ezreal, you can drop it to 4-5 as well, the AD pick, because there's 3 open. But it looks like XL are saying, no, we're not going to let you have Zeri Yuumi, we're going to take that one away. See if they go for the K'Sante. Gragas is a good one too. Rakan, something maybe they want to prioritize. Oftentimes you want to go Rakan a little bit later on in the draft and pick a stronger champion here, because you've guaranteed support on 3 no matter what. But it can prevent any kind of off-guard catches if Fnatic lock in something a bit different.
Well, that is going to be locked in there, not safe for later. We talked a little bit about that Zeri Aphelios for Noah, so he will get his hands on Aphelios, his most played champion. Interestingly for Patrik, out of the 230, 40 games, only 7 of them have actually been played on Zeri. Obviously a newer champion, obviously been banned a lot throughout the course of the year, so we need to see how he's going to handle it. It will be the Annie then, locked in for Humanoid, and a near instant reply on Ahri, so that pace is picked up very quickly now.
Draft's going pretty quick, and I think they're both showing they're very happy trading off bot lane and mid. Annie for Ahri, very, very common in the current meta. Now it gets a bit tricky with junglers. You know, Annie Wukong, we saw it at MSI how powerful it can be, just as strong these days. Could try to take things like that away from Razork. Mao kind of the champion that has so much engaged that you have to deal with. It's just really, really annoying. And when these junglers go down, you're looking at things like Sejuani, Viego, and Volibear. We'll see how far down the pool we do go. Oscar willing to blind pick top if they do pick jungle on 4. Maybe Fnatic want to throw some bans to cover him off.
I think all of those jungle champions you mentioned, by the way, are ones that I do associate and think of Razork. Those are champions that he has had success with in the past. They're banning away the Wukong for now. Maokai removed from the pool. I want to keep my eyes on Peach. We heard Vedius talking a lot about his impact in game number 1. Rekkles adding on, talking about team proximity, the fact that Peach wasn't really around, wasn't really supporting his lanes. And in XL's loss to Koi yesterday, they were given some opportunities. They were able to, you know, get closer to staging a bit of a comeback, but ultimately they were kind of bullied and led around the map by Koi. So we want to see what they can do today. The expectations are they are the underdogs, but it's still very early in the season. Viego will be their final ban.
Need more proactivity. I wonder if it's Sejuani they're looking at here on 4. Poppy down also hurts the jungle pool a little bit more. And if Sejuani does get banned away here, I wonder if we'll see something like, ooh, Malphite ban. Malphite ban makes you think of K'Sante. It's actually an answer to K'Sante. Every time you get ulted, you just kind of ult away. So they didn't ban the Sejuani, so that's going to be an easy pickup for Peach. And I wonder what Razork's going to go for. I wonder if Kindred is something he wants to look at into that Sejuani. But yeah, Odoamne will get counter-pick top. No bans top other than this Malphite for Oscar. I think if you go something like K'Sante, Odoamne has the pick of the litter. He can go Jax, he can go Renekton, he can go Gwen. But I wouldn't be surprised to just see some kind of Kindred K'Sante here from Fnatic.
I mean, all time for Oscarinin, he's only got 1 K'Sante game ever. So it would be his second time picking that up. Sejuani was locked in for Peach exactly as you're anticipating. And we saw the Kindred hovered for a brief moment there by Razork, taking their time now to drown this one out. And Odo will get that counter option, so exactly as you predicted. Locked in, and the Kindred. Ding, 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 Caedrel on form today.
Yeah, I think it's Jax, Renekton, or Gwen here. Renekton's been buffed really good with Sejuani. Gwen is a really powerful pick into the K'Sante, but they have 4 range champions, so I don't like the Gwen too much. So Renekton makes the most sense next to the Sejuani. So I think expected drafts from both sides, given the bans. Ooh, Kayle. We saw a little bit of Kayle. Gen G was playing Kayle. Doran was playing it into these tanks top. The problem with Kayle is you get dove so easily on the level 1 to 5, and if you fall behind, you're never really in the game. So XL, really powerful top jungle. A lot of very heavy mid-game picks. You know, the Zeri as much as it's late game. Ahri, Rakan, Renekton, Sejuani. You really want to get the ball rolling around dragon fights. Fnatic have good engage. The Kindred will be their early game, and I think the Yuumi Aphelios is their late game scaling. They need to make sure their bot lane is safe, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Razork go towards the mid in the first 5 levels, free up the Annie, and make sure they can control that bot side river.
The thing that I really like about Fnatic's engage is even though they do kind of have to throw themselves at the enemy, you know, you're looking at the Annie, the Kindred, K'Sante, there's a lot of tools for safety with the Lamb's Respite, the Lost Chapter, K'Sante's all that. So even though they are throwing themselves in, it is not as safe as obviously like Peach's non-committal engage.
Yeah, you look at Fnatic's comp, they have 4 range champions and a K'Sante, you know, so these 4 range champions are going to be playing at a distance, they're going to be playing in a Kindred ult with a Yuumi, and it's on K'Sante, it's on Oscar to kind of solo play the fight. Either his job is to protect, or it's to just pull someone out, you know, grab that Renekton, ult him away from this team, and let them do the 4v4. So, good engage, good follow-up, good CC from XL, so we'll see if they can lock down the Kindred and get him down before the ult can come out, chain CC that Kindred. So we'll need to invest in some kind of Mikhails here, I think, for Trymbi.
I mean, definitely an impressive performance for Oscarinin. And also, as I mentioned, on his second time ever on that K'Sante. Turn our attention to the laning phase now. You mentioned that, of course, this XL comp comes online in the mid-game.
Yeah, definitely.
Laning phase, do you give them a little bit of an edge here as well?
Well, with the Sejuani Renekton, they can play through top, but it'll be exciting. But we're ready for Game 2, XL versus Fnatic.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift for Game 2 of Day 2 of the Summer Split. The Fnatic fans are out in force, and they are fired up after their 25-minute win yesterday.
As they should be. I think everyone's looking at Fnatic this split. You have to basically win the split to make sure you can get towards that top 6. It's going to be tricky otherwise with so little championship points, and you can see they've just swapped the roster around to make sure they can go balls to the wall. Last chance of winning a split and pushing themselves to Worlds.
I mean, Frankie was talking about that in the analyst desk, right? This is the Summer Split. You do not make it to Worlds if you don't qualify for the season finals that culminates in Montpellier. So for Fnatic, because they are so far down the leadership board when it comes to those championship points, they do need to have a very deep run here in the Summer Split. We're in the second game of the regular season here. And for the time being, I want to see now what Fnatic do in the early stages here. I'm anticipating more, let's say, opportunities for XL, especially when you look at Renekton plus that Sejuani, looking Zeri, Rakan into the Yuumi, Aphelios. I think they'll be able to, you know, potentially look for those opportunities a little bit earlier.
No, and Trymbi just gonna have to play safe now. Just relax, let the waves come into them, no over pushing. Their jungler starting bot side, you know, and they don't want to fall prey to any early ganks.
And listen, don't be mad at Noah, by the way, because everyone knows Noah's job was to save the animals, and everybody in League of Legends wants the cat to go. Noah, that was beautiful.
That was cocky. I like that.
Beautiful.
He was toying Trymbi, saying, you know what, go for it, dash on top of my head. Let's see what you got. Flashing the KT rollster, flashing the Fnatic emote as well. So Limit misses the knock-up, they get a good trade in this kind of matchup. That always is nice to see. XL will get the push, the level up, and they'll just back away anyway.
Well, let's take a look as the tower's being pressured. The knock-up this time round connects. Noah is being ignited and will step away. This time round, the trade is significantly more in favor of XL's bottom lane. And they're pushing that wave forward. Let's keep our eyes on these junglers. Got a question for you, Caedrel. What is Peach's all-time win-loss on Sejuani?
I'm going to say 12-4.
Close, close. 10 wins and 2 losses, all of which in 2023. So insane win ratio. He right now is clearing towards the bottom half of their map.
Yep.
Patrik and Limit are pushing the way forward. We saw Abbedagge get a good trade into Humanoid. I want to see what sort of impact Peach can have, because Bo in the previous game had a very cheeky pathing that unlocked that first blood. Of course, he was on blue side, so a little easier.
Yeah, it looks like both junglers are just full clearing. Not going to do blue buff. It's going to move towards it now. Both junglers, exact same pathing, almost on the exact same timer as well. Both solo starting. Good trades by Abbedagge in mid, as we saw Humanoid had to burn one of those potions. And Fnatic's aim in the game is just to take it slow. Top should be even. Not to have to worry about that too much. Just track the Sejuani and then they won't fall prey to the Sejuani Renekton early game. But it's Razork and it's mid lane is what I'm thinking of. And it's, does he get a stack? Does Razork win the 50-50 and get his stack up towards this top side?
Waiting.
Looks like he lost it. So no stack for the Kindred on the level 1. That stings a bit, but...
A little bit of RNG, not in his favor. Peach will be securing his own Scuttle Crab and not take assault over the wall. I caught a quick glimpse there of another engage. Limit got chunked out underneath the tower. So Limit and Patrik trying to play very aggressive, very forward. Both bot laners have got Cull. And Peach probably just shadowing here. You can see Razork making his way a little bit late, so no real opportunities available. While all that's going on, Oscarinin is shoving in top lane, as you would somewhat expect during the early levels here. Nekasante versus Renekton matchup. So both teams, you know, composed starts to the game. But I want to see where and how XL look to pull the trigger, specifically with Peach, specifically looking from yesterday's performance. Want to see him comboing with those lanes, especially on the 2v2 combinations he has available.
Look at Razork. I think he dodged the ward, jumping over the Dragon Pit. Then he W'd to get the Q cooldown, then jumped over the Scuttle Crab as well. So this pathing is insane.
Really nicely done. Dance of Arrows forward. Wolf's Frenzy is available. Stun comes out. Flash over the wall. Chased by Razork. Dread. Wolf. Auto. First blood.
Can we
observe? Beautiful.
Observers, can we watch Razork throughout his whole pathing with the vision toggle? Because that was insane. He must have known his Krugs were warded. He dodged so many wards to pull that off. And I think Abbedagge, you can't really fault him. The information he had, there's no way Kindred could be there, right? Limit's holding the wave. He's out of base, so that's going to hurt. He's going to have to use his potion. He's got the Q to get the heal off, but God, that was great pathing from Razork. Very, very smart.
Exceptionally well played. Fnatic pick up first blood. Kill secured by Kindred as well.
So this is their vision. He Qs over the wall. His Q's a long cooldown, so he's going to W to get the cooldown halved. Then he's going to jump over the left side of this wall.
Wow.
Splinter Cell Razork, pink just to make sure, and then easy kill. So yeah, massive props to Razork. Good pathing. Recently hit rank 1 on the ladder, Razork, so he's taking this split as serious as he can to make sure that Fnatic can get to that World Championship.
Really, really nicely done. And great job to the observers as well. The turnaround on that quick replay. Great job, observers. So first blood, first kill secured. While that was happening, Oscarinin was bullied and pushed a little bit back in top lane. Picture-in-picture showed that. Noah's got himself a small CS advantage in that bottom lane. Limit obviously has roamed a touch. The wave is pushing towards XL. So 1,000 gold up already. And that's a great start, especially for a champion like Kindred that you really want to accelerate. You want to build towards those item breakpoints. Those champions that can take over a game if you're able to get the gold and optimization under your belt.
Yeah, going to go for the Triforce, I expect, which is the build on Kindred these days. XL needs to get the ball rolling. There's the Tibbers in mid to secure the mid push. Just going to stand in Abbedagge's face, do as much damage to him as possible, just kind of slap him down. It's so annoying as mid lane because it's going to pull back here, Tibbers, in a second, but it'll regen health as well. So when Humanoid runs away, it comes back and then he basically heals to full, so you can guarantee mid push in that. instance, XL will get themselves this dragon. They need to get the ball rolling. When they get level 6 on the Sejuani, maybe they can look to start making some plays.
Okay, let's see how and where Peach does it. No flash available for Abbedagge in the mid lane. Humanoid's got his up. And as you mentioned, that mid lane push, Humanoid got a small advantage as Peach could come in here behind Noah and Trymbi.
Yep.
Level 4 for both of them. Flash available for Noah. Patrik in limit. Stepping forward, Ignite is there. Flash from Noah. Glacial Prison is out. It's eaten by Trymbi, and he's taken down. Patrik gets the first for XL.
Honorable death by Trymbi. Noah could have cleansed the ult as well, and because it was such a long-range ult, I think he could have Captain Jacked it, and maybe they could have lived, but Trymbi's just playing the safety card and saying, you know what, I'll block it and die. You get out and catch this wave, because if both of us die here, it's not worth it, losing this massive, massive wave. So debatable if that was gonna save him or not.
All 4 summoners blown here from Fnatic, right?
Yeah.
So on that replay, let's take a look at the distance, but again, you can see the intent, right?
Yeah. You can see Noah even timed it in his head, the gap close on the ultimate, because he cleansed even though Trymbi got hit, so he was expecting to just Captain Jack that and try to live. But Trymbi needs to make sure that he catches that wave.
And also one of those things that, it's a new duo, of course. 2 new players here for Fnatic. Taking a look at this bottom lane, those small intrinsic knowledge when you're in that scenario, those are things that you have to learn. Patrik right now is going to get jumped on, starting to get eaten alive, but will be able to just zap himself to safety. Easily hops over the wall. The rest of Fnatic are potentially available here. Pressure coming in. Noah's going to shove this bottom wave into the tower.
We'll get spotted on the Scuttle Crab there. Razork, Dragon's down and Herald's up, so Peach is very happy, you know. Patrik's safe, he's catching the wave. Manages to dash out. That's another neutral objective in XL's back pocket. This is exactly what they need to start pushing this game forwards. They've got a kill on the Zeri. Abbedagge can lean towards this side of the map. And Odoamne should have the top push in these early stages of the game. We'll see how they use this Herald, but I would love to see XL, once they've got this Herald and they've cycled through top camps, look to invade and try to punish this bot side even more. So we'll take a look at it again, because if you watch Noah, he actually expects the ult to happen, and he's timing in his head the distance from it. So he's actually going to cleanse even though Trymbi blocks it. Would he have died anyway? Debatable. I think he would have if Patrik flashes forwards. I think if Patrik flashes forwards, Noah's going to die. The base damage from the ultimate, even if he cleanses, I think Trymbi did the right thing in helping Noah get the wave.
Well, that means Noah survived, maintains that very small advantage in CS. Yeah, Razork will be able to invade, has a little bit of backup in a moment or two. Smart fight goes the way of Razork, if I read that correctly, and he gets out. Taking a look, no stacks yet for that Kindred either, which is a little bit unfortunate. I think he had the Sejuani selected earlier.
Yeah, a bit dangerous here for Fnatic. So Razork sprinting to top crab, and if you look at the minimap, XL's pinging a bot wave. So what's going to happen here is Abbedagge and Peach are going to run bots and 4-man dive this Aphelios Yuumi. So Razork's getting a mark, but they're losing so much on bot that I think maybe Noah and Trymbi are just going to have to run top or something, because this bot side needs to be abandoned. All of XL are hovering around here, and if they come back, they're going to get dove. So Razork's basing now. Looks like they're going to go back towards bot, but they can Herald this. They're going to get a lot of gold for this.
Like this idea. Looks like Fnatic thinking about the defense, because Razork's making his way down here too as well.
Yeah,
Teleport's not available for Oscar or Humanoid, and Herald has now been dropped, so this will be a plate or 2 already. And a potential 3v3 on the cards, Razork being the last one to arrive.
So Razork got his first stack of the game. And I think, to be honest, even if he was bot side, they'd probably get pushed out anyway. No summoners on the Aphelios Yuumi. They lose 3v3 so hard. I think a similar situation would have happened regardless. Maybe they could have saved an extra plate, but nevertheless, Fnatic will start to catch those waves. Noah is up on creeps, but yeah, that kill and those plates over to Patrik means he's getting really close to that Trinity Force.
Yeah, I mean, game of inches so far. 400 gold separating the teams. It is the Dragon in favor of XL. More importantly, the Dragon and the Rift Herald. And I think in terms of how the draft played out, I think I would have anticipated or expected XL to maybe have some earlier punches, have some opportunities to generate leads. What I really want to see is how these next 10 or so minutes play out. Can Razork and Fnatic scale up, complete their items, use this like ranged composition effectively, or will Peach be able to look for those picks, look for those skirmishes, combo up with the Renekton and the Ahri, which become really, really scary with their ults and their first items getting close to them.
I think we'll see those plays around the next Dragon. XL, without that Herald, you want to take every fight you can get. So as Peach finishes these Raptors, I hope he goes back down towards this bot side and looks to contest this Dragon, because 25 seconds on the spawn, his bot lane has the push. As much as they won't have the Trinity Force, I think they're really strong right now.
So there's a TP for Abbedagge. Odo's is still a while away. Vision is shallow here in favor of XL, but it is in the river. And Peach will be the first one there. Also, I think with Abbedagge and Patrik both pushing their respective lanes, it is a safe first start if Peach decides to commit to it.
Yep.
And look, even Odo's starting to fall back, so I want to see whether or not Fnatic look to contest. For now, it looks as though XL have the timing and obviously the location.
So XL, I think, are doing the correct thing. Fnatic's just not giving them a fight, which makes sense. You're playing Kindred, Aphelios, Yuumi. Avoid all fights at any cost. The problem for Fnatic is they're not getting anything on the other side of the map. Odoamne is playing safe. He's going to be able to catch his wave. And watch Humanoid. He's running up with Razork. So if Fnatic want to force something, they really want to get something out of this dragon. See if they can dive him. Look at Limit. He's based and he's running top. Zeri's showing there. So XL needs to be safe for the next 10 to 15 seconds. But when this jungle support comes up, Odoamne should just be fine. And
playing on Infernal Rift is actually going to be great for both squads. There's so much damage available for both teams. Odo, he managed to back off, drop that ward just in front of the Krugs. No real dive opportunity for Razork. Limit is now here with Peach, so Oscar starts to step back and back away. But I mean, dead even on the top lane, we haven't really seen the respective players getting involved. 12 minutes on the clock, 2 dragons for XL, so they're starting to scale, they're starting to ramp up.
Yeah, they are. I think XL are very happy with the way the game's going. Trinity Force complete for Razork now. Summoners are back up for Noah and Trymbi, so Fnatic have a lot more to work with on this bot side of the map, so we'll see them start to fight back after Razork gets that red buff. But look at the map movement from XL. Mid pushes 3, moving down here, trying to invade this bot side jungle. Razork should get this red, but they're going to lose out on the Raptors. They're going to get so many wards in their bot side jungle. So Razork, he's playing with scaling lanes and he's trying to defend them, but it's a bit difficult with XL playing this aggressive.
Yeah, and of course for XL, investing resources into Patrik is probably one of the better ideas, not only with the champion, but also as a player. He has been able to, control games, control fights in the late game. Right now, despite being down 20 CS, the kill is balancing out that gold. It's a bottom lane, 3 turret plates are secured. And I think we're just setting up for these objective fights. Yeah. Neither team, look, 0 towers secured right now. There's been some aggressive trading. Razork can't find an opportunity. At least for now, this is kind of Fnatic's game plan. I think this is what they wanted. They want to scale, they want to get those items. They know they can do well in the late game fights.
Yeah, on paper, they're even in gold, so I think they're pretty happy. The next dragon is everything. As much as XL might not have a gold lead, this dragon is going to be everything. 3 minutes on the spawn. They should have Gale Force. They should have first item on Annie, whether it's a Leandries or something. And those mythic spikes is when they really want to start to fight back.
Of course, Trinity Force they picked up for Razork. Level 9. 12 minutes in, only got that single mark under his belt, so that is a little frustrating. And we're taking a look at the mini-map, and almost every mark that has spawned has been behind towers or behind enemy territory for XL, so Fnatic unable to get that Kindred at least accelerated, getting the gas going on, but with 2.5 minutes, deep vision inside Fnatic's bottom half of the map. XL have got info, they've got 2 teleports available. You have to think Fnatic will want to contest this dragon.
Yeah, XL are going to base now. Triforce on Zeri, Everfrost on Ahri should come in. 2 minutes on the spawn, and Fnatic are going into that 1-3-1, so they want to keep their bot lane safe in mid, make sure Humanoid can push out these side lanes. Razork will go down towards the bot side to cover. Both top laners still have TP, and level 11's coming in for the solo laners. So now it's all about the mid waves. Can they get them in? And can Fnatic find a way into this Dragon Pit in 2 minutes? Because as much as Herald's up now, does Fnatic fight the Herald? You know, the Herald will give easy access to the Dragon, so it could be an option depending on the positioning they can find. They find Limit.
Might feel a shot is opportune or available here. Support coming. Noah's still in that mid lane, and Oscarinin is now finally roaming. Herald down to about half. Teleport being committed by Humanoid. He's got Flash, he's got Tibbers. 5 members of XL starting to back away. Dominus is ticking, the charm is connected. Oscarinin is chunked to half. The chapter is lost, and Herald secured by Peach and XL. They're going to make their way towards the eye, pick that one up as well. Fnatic have not found the angle, have not found the opportunity, and Fnatic did not pull that trigger.
They invested the TP and they thought they could look for an angle, but they weren't given one. Herald mid instantly. XL want to put their foot on the gas. Going to push towards this mid tier 1. Not sure if they'll get the full tower. Maybe a couple more hits and it'll fall. All the meanwhile, Odoamne is pushing bot for the first blood tower. Can they get it down, this Herald?
Oh, no, going to get that charge off. Tower still stands. Odoamne pushing bottom. 1 minute and 10 until Dragon. And Caedrel, in that time, how do you want to see Fnatic play these team fights out in the 5v5? Because it's a little hard to start.
It is, and Trymbi's rushed the Ardent, so someone has to bite the bullets, and I think it's going to have to be Oscar. Someone's going to have to run into that Ahri charm, that Sejuani ult, and that Renekton. And Oscar's the only melee champ they have. Any of these range champs get locked down, they are dead. But finding a way into this Dragon Pit is going to be a nightmare. Mid tower's really low. XL's going to reset, pick up wards, replenish their control wards, come back towards mid, and in 30 seconds time they're going to force this dragon. That fight is crucial. If XL win that fight, they can run away with this game. If Fnatic somewhat go even and steal the dragon, it's an absolute disaster for XL.
I mean, the other thing is, we talked a little bit about scaling, talked a little bit about how Fnatic's comp can do well if given time. It is still going to be a more difficult composition to play out, just in terms of how they have to play those team fights, how nuanced they have to be, especially on the initiations. You've got to get through Renekton, Sejuani, and Rakan to get to the Ahri and Zeri, and both of them got enough mobility to be troublemakers. So can Fnatic do it this time round?
He's at 5 seconds on the spawn. Oscar's here. Razork trying to push back Peach. That dash over the wall gives them some access to this river. Odoamne is pushing bot, so he'll join his team on a flank. And they have to stay as a death ball here, Fnatic. They need to stay together. Oscar needs to block all of the ultimates. And Kindred might have to be invested to keep him up. Abbedagge's off to the side. Odoamne is not going to go for the flank. He's going to join the rest of his team. Patrik a little bit chunked out. Peach trying to group up with the rest of them.
Oh, Peach level 10, got that Glacial Prison available to him. Dragon is now started. Limit looking for the flank. Limit looking to drop the quickness. That's a charm connecting onto Oscarinin, and Razork hops over the wall with that Q, chucking damage out onto Limit, who throws down the quickness. Exhaust is out. Lamb's Respite is down. Buying time for Razork. Oscarinin goes all out and pushes Patrik and Limit away. Now Fnatic collapsing onto Odoamne. They trade 1-for-1 as top laners both die. Fnatic in a good position though, using Tibbers to push forward. Patrik is low. Abbedagge's got no front line to work with, and the Dragon has been interrupted. The turn and burn, but the damage is simply too much to deal with. Noah finds one, finds a second, and Humanoid gets the third.
Massive fight for Fnatic. They're going to get the Dragon, stop the Dragon Soul point. That fight was everything for them. And XL commit onto the Kindred. They can't chain CC Razork, so he gets the ultimate off. And then so much is invested that Noah can walk up in this entirety of the fight. So Razork chunking out Limit, stopping the flank, but then Limit says we need to go on this Kindred. If I get too low, I'm not going to be a form of engage. Patrik gets around the wall, but Peach isn't there for the Glacial. And then Razork gets the ult off. Watch Oscar on the backline here, gets Limit and Patrik on the knockup, chunks them out, they're out of the fight, and now Noah has the entire playing field to himself. No ultimates left, he can just run XL down.
I mean, such great play. Fnatic found the opportunity, they punished Limit, who was looking for the flank. And once Razork hopped over the wall, the entirety of Fnatic collapsed to back him up. It took such a long time for XL to get through the river to eventually try and get involved with Patrik as well as Limits in that bottom lane.
Yep.
Ultimately, Fnatic win the fight. Fnatic get the Dragon, and Fnatic are thrown ahead. 2 stacks picked up for Razork as well. And now they've got that gold lead, however small it may be.
Odo might be dead here.
All right, here we go. Kindred, Lamb, and Wolf going forward. Chucking out those dance of arrows, and Odo is just being bullied and beaten down. Slice and Dice comes out, and Humanoid able to pick that one up. Oscarinin, however, is now under threat. 4 members of XL going forward, all out, dashing forward with the footwork, and Oscarinin with just Kazante things.
That's a top lane champ right there, Odoamne. That's one that can live in a 1v4. Oscar gets out. They trade off the towers by the looks of it. Patrik sticking around, and so is Humanoid, but Fnatic net themselves another kill. So Razork on 4 stacks now. It's Kindred 2-0-3. And they've weathered the storm. The early game's basically gone now for XL. They're going to have to force fights with this mid-game comp and try and recuperate some of this gold deficit that they're going to face. As much as it's even, the game state is just horrible for them at this point in the game with the Aphelios Yuumi getting out of lane phase. Look at the CS difference between Patrik and Noah.
Gigantic. I mean, it's only 100 gold difference, of course, for now, but more importantly for me, I think you see the impact that Trymbi's having. You throw that Yuumi onto any single one of the Fnatic members, instantly a problem. Right now, he's comboing with Razork beautifully. You're adding that prowling projectile, you've got the safety of that lost chapter, and if all of that goes awry, well, screw it. Then throw down the Kindred ultimate. You've got so many tools for safety, and Fnatic have just jumped up, what, 2,000-3,000 gold?
Yeah.
Finally behind, and now they're in a great position.
Yeah, all 3 altars gone. So XL, their options now are just kind of group up and force, really. No summoners on the Aphelios. Maybe they can look to punish that with the Rakan Sejuani. Ahri has good gap close as well, but the solo laners are both sitting at 0-2, so pushing these sides is going to be a bit more difficult when Fnatic comes out of base. And as long as Trymbi's with either Noah or Razork, one of those AD carries is going to be dishing out so much DPS. Of course, Patrik on the Zeri does have 2 items as well, see what he can do in these fights, but right now, these 4 range champs, as soon as anyone jumps in on XL, they're just going to get absolutely bursted.
I mean, it's really, I think that initial engage is going to be so important for both teams. If Fnatic are able to find their target and pick it off, then the range can just run down anybody. If, however, Peach or Limit can lock down somebody before the Lamb's Respite, before the Lost Chapter, that might be one of the ways in. It's so hard to do because of the range, because of the distance, and on the Infernal Rift as well. There's so much space, so much room for activities.
Yeah.
Fnatic are doing just a great lead, yeah. 6 kills to 2, 3,000 gold up, 2 minutes until the next Dragon. And if they can stack 4 Infernals potentially back-to-back with this comp, that is terrifying.
It'll be bonkers with the Aphelios Yuumi, wouldn't it? Oscar's job is just to catch these side waves and then move towards mid and just act as a barrier for the rest of his team. Just stand in front of them and cover them from any skill shot possible. Here comes a mid-wave contest. No Dragon for 130, Razork.
Gonna get caught out for now. Lamb just by some time. Noah's making his way forward. Teleport being channeled as well. Razork does get taken down. It's Patrik that gets the shutdown. Oscarinin's arrived, but he's surrounded by XL. Patrik's gonna spark over the wall. Limit flashes away to safety. Noah remains untouched. Backed up by Trymbi's Yuumi. And all of a sudden, Patrik's now the next target. Caught up by the prime projectile. The flamethrower spitting damage for Fnatic.
Big mistake by Razork. He gets caught. Good punish by XL, but it's Noah just running them down untouched. This Aphelios is so powerful. 230 CS in 22 minutes. Just running away with this game at this point now. So let's see it again. So Razork jumps over. He actually fails to jump. Then he jumps over. His Q's on such a long cooldown and he gets knocked up. Gets chain CC, manages to get the ult off here. But Noah doesn't use the ultimate just yet. Gets the root onto Peach, then he swaps over to Blue. Dishes out the damage on the front line. TP comes in from Humanoid, so everyone from XL focusing down, and then he decides to use the ult. Big damage on the back line. Limit has to flash away. And again, all the ultimates and spells used. Noah can start running forwards. Patrik tries to push him back, and little does he know this Aphelios is just going to melt him.
Yeah, I mean, Noah right now, popping off his most played champion by a significant amount. 31 games, 65% win ratio on the Aphelios. He had so much time bought for him. 6,000 damage. The fact that Razork, of course, needs to get burned through, needs to get that lost chapter, the Lambda spot as well, means he's 4-0-2, use that Gale Force to close things off. And we've got Baron and Dragon available at the same time. XL, are they in the pit? It looks like they're at least trying to pull Fnatic towards them.
They are. They want to start another fight. A lot of summoners available for Fnatic, though. It's on limit to Hex Flash over. Maybe look for an engage onto Noah. It's a all on this Aphelios.
Quickness available. Noah's got flash, got cleanse. Limit's been pushed away.
Odo's used the ultimate as well, so they need to go soon now, XL. They're running out of time. Limit's being pushed away by Noah. He's just running at the Rakan.
The rest of XL, they're starting to fight in the river. Oscarinin's used all that for now and fighting 1v1 in the top lane. Flash forward, pull back. That was beautiful. Oscarinin sets it up and Fnatic send them home.
And they're going to start up the Baron now. Peach is alive, but there's no chance of a steal now. Here is there. XL want to force that Baron, but what happens? Odoamne is ulting, waiting for Limit to go in, but then Noah just says, you know what? I'm not going to walk into that river to let you collapse on me. I'm going to collapse on you. He just runs it. Limit goes down to 10% HP. There's no way he can engage at that point.
That combo was great. Oscar getting the double dunk. And I think more importantly, Limit has been read like a book. Every time he's tried to flank in these 5v5s, Fnatic have not even been aware of it. They've responded appropriately.
They have really good setup by Oscar, really good slam dunk by Humanoid, and then Noah gets himself another kill. Now the Dragon's going down, no TP on Abbedagge. They're going to have to keep this one up as well. XL just kind of sitting there, watching it fall in front of them. There's nothing they can really do in response, and now Fnatic are going to base and be even stronger than they were before. Noah still got access to both of those summoner spells.
I mean, unbelievable. He hasn't been threatened yet, right? Because XL haven't been able to get onto him. And of course, 10 minutes ago, there was 1 stack for Razork. After all these fights, he's up to 7 now.
I like what he does here, just run down the flanking Rakan, and then XL say, well, if the Aphelios Yuumi are chasing down my Rakan, let's go for a 4v3, but Fnatic disengage. Here comes the Q flash from Oscar, great knock up into the double stun. Noah ults and gets himself a kill as well. And at that point, it's over. XL have to run for the hills. Baron goes down, Dragon goes down. They couldn't really find the target they're looking for, and that target is Noah, but he's still unkilled here in the LEC.
You can feel the pain there on Patrik's face, unable to stop his opposite number.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a Fnatic roster that fans should get excited about. Noah has been playing flawlessly so far. Only 2 games, a long way to go for Fnatic, an extremely long road, but I think they're in safe hands with this new AD carry on the lineup.
I mean, listen, Noah saved the world before, he needs to save Fnatic now. Can he get Fnatic to Worlds? Ender, you decide. You tell me. Normally I'm the one that makes bold statements after 1 games, 2 game sample sizes. Who's hyping up Noah, who right now, unkilled in the LEC and unkilled in real life, pushing into the base. 25 minutes in yesterday, Fnatic were able to take down Astralis in, what, 25, 40 seconds? Right now they've opened up the base. They've got 2 dragons, they've got Baron, 5,000 gold lead, and they've got all the tools available to them. They've been able to thwart any potential engages from XL and literally just use their comp exquisitely. Oscarinin under some threat here. Literally just walking away from XL.
Yeah, if they throw that Sejuani ult, he has so much tenacity, the knock-up's already gone, Limit missed it, so there's no real follow-up, just drop that play. XL grasping at straws for side lane plays, but look at Noah's items. 1,000 gold shutdown if he falls, but again, Summoner's up, Yuumi by his side. Trymbi should be able to cover him off any kind of engage. I don't know if XL have the damage to even burst through him. This Zeri's not even got the third item just yet. So what's the play for Fnatic? The Baron buff's going to fade away in 20 seconds. There's a top tier 2 for them to play for. So it looks like with bots being pushed in, they're saying, Oscar, you clear mid. We're going to go 4-man top with our range champs and siege down this tier 2. TP in if they look for an engage.
Okay, so teleport's available for all solo laners. Level advantages here for Oscarinin, 2 above Odo. Humanoid's got 1 over Abbedagge. Patrik just picked up his 3rd item. He needs a lot of time, and right now, Patrik just hasn't had time in teamfights to do Zeri things. His front line have been scattered, Limit has been unable to find those flanks. This time, however, they find the engage. Lamb's Respite keeps Humanoid alive for a few seconds longer. The heal comes out, and finally he's taken down. Abbedagge gets the kill. The knockback means Noah gets another under his belt. A trade 1-for-1 in the top lane.
Lamb's Respite bought so much. Noah's going in.
Oh, look at that damage! Noah's sidestepping everything! The flamethrower's burning across XL members. And Oscarinin is now stepping forward. While all that's going on, Razork fancies himself a shot, sends out Wolf. Nom, nom, nom! Razork gets another.
2 down for XL. Humanoid ended up falling, but top tier 2 was their objective, and they will get it. Does Fnatic stick around here? They must be sitting on a lot of gold here. Noah's going to recall. He used his summoners in that fight aggressively, so we'll see if XL can punish that, but right now they're just so far behind. Baron spawning in 2 minutes time, 1 minute 40 on the Dragon, but you can see if they engage, Oscar TP's in. Humanoid was just in range of that Kindred ultimate.
And of course for XL, they managed to set up the engage this time around, but it's a little too late. They're a little too far behind. They've lost the Nexus turret as well. Superman is pushing into the base.
Oh God.
Inhibitor turret falling as well. And with 1.5 minutes to go until the next Dragon, they'll be the 3rd of the game here for Fnatic, ramping up their damage even further. That was a good engage from XL, but it was a better response from Fnatic.
Yeah, Noah's actually taking that gold that he's gotten from those kills. He's bought a QSS. You know, Cleanse is on a bit of a long cooldown. He might not have it for Dragon. He needs to make sure he's safe. And Fnatic will continue to own this map. XL really need to find something. A TP ward is what they've been looking for these past few minutes on the sieges with Baron, but Fnatic keeps sweeping them out. There's one in River on the bot side that maybe they can use if they push up mid here. Fnatic, XL have to pull the trigger quick if they want to use that ward right behind Noah, but here they go.
Looks to be the case. Peach steps forward. Noah with that QSS. Instant value already. Humanoid will be taken down though. He committed the flash as well. But Noah with that QSS is alive. 4 versus 5. And super minions onto the Nexus turret for XL and Fnatic. They fancy themselves a shot. 30 seconds to Dragon. But look, XL cannot commit further.
That was a big QSS buy by Noah. Manages to live through the Sejuani engage. Humanoid, 30 seconds on the respawn. He'll have TP, so XL might want to fight this Dragon, but Humanoid will be there in time for it, so maybe they can set up for a Baron. Limit's trying to get some vision. They're pushed back on mid waves. Fnatic's now going to go towards that Dragon. And I don't think XL have a response with this spawn timer being so skewed. 25-second window to just run up towards the top side. They're not confident enough to start up the objective.
And I also think for the 3rd Dragon of the game, yes, the game is like out of your hands already. This isn't the one to throw all your chips into it. So XL concede, buy some more time, 1 minute until their bottom inhibitor spawns. Baron is up in 10 seconds. Look at the vision set up by XL. So they've made a pretty clear signal around what they want to do, what they want to challenge. Thank you, observers, is highlighting it. Teleport's available for both Odo and Abbedagge. Not level 16 yet on either of them. Humanoid's pretty close himself. And this could be the last stand. If Fnatic start Baron and XL contest, XL have to win the fight, have to get this objective.
Definitely do, and I think Fnatic know it's warded up here. Razork doesn't have the sweeper just yet. Trymbi does. We'll see if he uses it right behind them. There it goes, and they'll move. And they will remove all of those wards. So no TP wards now for XL. Only 1 ward in that river on the entrance red. We'll see if Fnatic can spot it out with a pink, but they're going to start pushing forwards. Oscar pushes in mid.
Berlin and Fnatic fans, will Noah die this game? Okay, let's find out. A couple more team fights on the cards. Unkilled here in the LEC.
No flash yet though, so still a bit of a pain point for him. Mid-wave contest coming through now. Fnatic's going to push in this mid-wave. Bot inhib is respawning soon, so no super creep, so XL have a little bit of room to breathe.
You have to feel this is still all Fnatic favorite. Razork stepping forward, gets chopped. Lost chapter is thrown out, and here comes Noah. Red, blue, stepping into Peach, and he is melted, shredded, destroyed. The Moonlight Vigil is out, and the flash forward from Razork. All of a sudden, the re-engage. Limit throws down the quickness. Razork says left 50 seconds lower, but Noah is untouched.
Look at Noah.
Noah is destroying XL. And Fnatic will find themselves 2 kills. Open up the base again. Top inhibitor turret will fall. 3 inhibitors are available. And are they just going to look to finish?
Yeah, it's over, isn't it? There's one Nexus tower left. Noah has flash up in just a second. Trymbi's laughing. We'll see if they full commit to it. 20 seconds on Peach. How risky do you want to play this, Fnatic? Inhib's gone in mid. Do they just back off and go to Baron here, or do they fancy themselves a full commit? Knock up onto Abbedagge.
Now the pullback from Oscar. Tibbers is dropped as well. Noah's still healthy. Red, white, let's fight. Noah's dropped low. The Nexus turret is secured. And with 2 lanes of supers, they can back away. Still unkilled. 8-0-4 in his second game here. Fnatic 7,000 gold up. And that started with a face check.
Yep.
Kindred.
That's their form of engage. Just walk up with Kindred, bait them into engaging, use the Lamb's Respite, and then Noah can start dishing out the damage. He's going to base here on a lot of gold. Still has... Actually, the flash just came up, so the QSS will be his cleanse. And Fnatic will rinse and repeat. TP's coming in. They want to make sure that this Baron isn't going to get rushed down, but XL do want to rush it down. Patrik needs to jump over this wall if they want to get this down quickly. We'll see if Razork can steal it. Noah's a little bit far away, so XL have about 10 seconds worth of time to burst this, but it's not going down quick.
7 seconds for Lamb's Respite, 5 seconds for Razork stepping into the pit. Oscarinin is trying to buy time. Noah stepping back. Last chapter is thrown down, and Oscar's still alive, in and amongst the fray. Odo flashes forward, trying to find Noah. Lamb's Respite is used, and it will do nothing to help XL. Fnatic once again fending off the pressure. Another kill to Razork, another to Noah. And Abbedagge and Peach are running for their lives. Noah with the green and the purple. The Moonlight Vigil goes out, it doesn't matter. 11 kills secured already. The base in tatters. The Nexus being destroyed by Winions. And Noah is looking to finish it.
This is a perfect sight for Fnatic fans. The Nexus is empty, and it's Noah walking in to claim the victory. Second win here for Fnatic.
The Fnatic faithful have finally been rewarded. 2-0 to start the summer season. Gigantic smiles across the faces of the Fnatic members, and just a well-executed game. Patient during the laning phase, controlled in the skirmishes, and crucially for me, they never got jumped on in a situation that they were not anticipating. They were always in, sort of dictating XL's movements.
Yeah, their weakest point was the level 1 to 8, level 1 to 9, the first 2 dragons. They avoided those. They managed to fight the 3rd dragon and come out ahead. If they had lost that 3rd dragon fight, I think XL would have had such a massive lead on that soul point, just constantly forcing fights. But yeah, Fnatic got 3 dragons in a row from that point onwards. And a little bit of a risky one to play so much scaling, but yeah, they pull it off to perfection. Really,
really well done. I think Fnatic fans at home, maybe start chanting, I will not get excited yet. I will not get excited yet. This is a great start to the summer season. And definitely the most impressive combination that we've seen from Fnatic, I think, all year long. I think that's fair to say thus far.
Yeah, definitely. Looking really, really stellar in these first 2 games. We'll see how they do tomorrow when they face G2. That'll be a big test for this Fnatic roster. If they can overcome that demon, then yeah, they're sitting very pretty in this regular season. If they can get 3 wins in the first week, that's astounding, going towards the top 8 that you need to make for the group stage.
I mean, I think if I recall correctly, Fnatic have 9 wins all year long. So if they do go 3-0 this year, that's 30% of their annual wins already in the first week. So that's a great position to be in. Conversely, XL, they've only had 3 wins all year long. That video to start the season, #DoBetter. I think we have seen slightly more competitive games, but still a lot to be desired from the XL squad. Before we talk about them, quick player of the game nominees at LEC on Twitter, Oscarinin, Razork, and Noah. This is a super tough one because they all complemented each other so well in order to pick up the win.
I think I know who's going to get it though, Trevor. I have this like small feeling that Noah might win out on that vote. I mean, props to Razork though. I think that level 4
I would
gank,
have to go Razork.
Razork had such a cheeky gank, and he was playing Engage Kindred, which respect.
Yes.
And Oscar just kind of, Oscar did his job. He did his job in team fights, blocked for his team, grouped when he needed to. I think Oscar's growing a lot this year.
Second ever Cassante, and he had some fantastic impact in that game. Fnatic pick up the second win. We're heading on stage with Oscar standing by with Trouble.
Thank you very much, Quickshot. Second ever Cassante, he said. And you had a fantastic performance, Oscarinin. Thank you so much for joining me. Congrats on the win. If you could sway the vote for everyone watching at home right now, do you deserve that MVP?
I mean, I think I deserve it, but I think kinda everyone in the team deserves it. I think Noah on his Aphelios was really, really crazy. Like, he was doing really crazy plays going into 5 people, so...
But you were better, so you deserve it.
I was fucking better, so...
Yeah. Oscar, what a fantastic beginning to the summer split. Fnatic really needs that. You joined the team at a very problematic time. How do you see the team doing right now?
I mean, I think right now it's not so problematic, and I think we are looking to just win and enjoy our time. So, yeah, we're doing great.
Are you happy with the performance so far?
I'm happy with this performance. Like, yesterday one was fine, but I think I'm happy with this one, yeah.
Okay, talking about happy, Razork said yesterday that now, with fresh blood joining the team, that top side of the map sort of gets a new mental going into this game. How has it been for you, that new, refreshing, new bot lane we're starting over in Summer Split?
I mean, it's a huge change for the team, for sure, like getting 2 new players. So we changed a bit our playstyle. I think they are both really aggressive and they like to get resources and play really aggro on bot and play the 2v2. So I think we are, we can do a lot of playstyles right now. Like, we can play top side, we can play for Humanoid with his LeBlanc with Chief, we can play for bot. I think we can play for everyone, and that's really nice on the team.
Has anything changed in your playstyle since the new bot lane joined or the meta change?
I mean, I'm just a weak side king right now, but it is what it is because bot lane is broken.
Well, it didn't look very weak side with your Cassante, Oscarinin. Now, my final question for you is, tomorrow, of course, you face the real big boss of the LEC. You guys are playing against G2. Broken Blade has been fantastic internationally and locally. Are you looking forward to facing him tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to play against Broken Blade. I think he's probably the best in LEC, so I want to play against him.
Why is he the best in the LEC?
I think he showed it in Worlds, kinda, so that's why I think he's the best.
All right, well, thank you so much. Come on, guys, 2-0 for Fnatic. Let's go. Thank you so much, Oscarinin, for joining me. You guys stay tuned. We're going to go into a very quick break. When we're back, Mad versus G2.
Okay.